Hello and welcome back. I'm your friendly neighborhood technician. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. This is not a Mercedes or Volkswagen. But this is something that's a little bit different. A lot of people may have this issue. This is a 2016 Honda Odyssey. Don't worry about my little boy's bike or the tires that I got to do tomorrow. But on this car, this has a aftermarket alarm. Yeah, it's aftermarket, but it's dealer installed. So a lot of you guys or girls might have some of these, and this one I believe is freaking out. So the alarm will go off randomly. The battery's okay, charging system is okay, but just randomly, like I said, the alarm will go off middle of the night. While we're at work, nobody's around, nothing's going on, the alarm just starts going off. So I'm gonna try to get it to on video right now. I'll show you what the instrument cluster does when it freaks out. So here we are idling, and it was just doing it right now. Turn cruise control off. It was doing it right now when I turned it off, and you might see something flicker, like I think the parking brake sign right there, or the light flickered when I turned it off. But let's see what happens. Yep, did you see it right there? That. And there's a clicking sound coming from underneath the dash. But like I said, sometimes the alarm will just go off for no reason at all. So I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to try to remove that aftermarket alarm. All right, so you can see right here that this is the little aftermarket thing with the alarm and the light, and then you can see, ooh, the light was flashing and now it's not. But if you look down here, you can follow the wiring, and you can see right here that and there's the module right there. You can see they routed the wiring up through that bracket. Then over here, then they have this cheap wire connector, and then going down over here, wiring going into this harness, and this. So this right here is what we got to remove. First thing we got to do is cut these zip ties and get it loose. I'll do this with two hands. Okay, so I took the panel off here. There was more going on than meets the eye. You can see that there's a lot of electrical tape right here. I did notice that there's this crimp connector right here, which is not factory. Also, oops, dropped the phone. Also, you can see more of these aftermarket wire connectors right here that need to get removed. So I took this off, the little light. So I'm gonna have to take off all of this electrical tape and figure out where exactly these wires are going to and from. Okay, this may look worse than it actually is. So this is the module for it. There's this right here is the harness for the light and all that stuff. And then you can see all these connectors. You can see there's this one right here. Then this one that's I had to take off a bunch of tape for that's up there. So really, it's not that big of a deal. I just have to disconnect all of these. If I try to I can just leave that on there. That's not going to cause any big issue. I just have to pull that off, and because that's all these wiring, all this is just teeing into those wires. I can pull that one off, pull that one. No, the only problem that I'm going to run into, or the only thing I have to do is they snipped this white wire right here and then added in the power wire right here. So all I have to do is disconnect it, disconnect all those, take this out, and then repair this white wire right there, and the car should function as normal. And for some reason, this is connected to the underside of the freaking door switch thing right here, which I found that out when I was looking underneath there, and there's a harness going through this, and you can see down in here the harness going all the way through there. So more stuff that I got to remove. I only found this after pretty much removing most of the door panel. Now, you can see it's still doing the thing. Maybe it's gonna make a liar out of me, but see what happens when I disconnect all of this. Nope, still doing the thing. Weird. I have it completely disconnected, so now it won't even start. Everything will turn on, but no start. Nope. So now I gotta pull all of this through down here. Which, where's it going? Oh, there it goes. Well, probably a good thing that I removed that door panel anyway. Who wants to see a trick? Hey, came out easy. Almost have every bit of this removed. I don't have a 10 on me, and I don't feel like walking over to get one, so. Hey, look, disconnected it. Now, oh, these go over here. So now, really, all that we have connected is this. So theoretically, I could just leave this connected and jump those two contacts right there, and it should start, because all it is connected to those two right there. So everything else is completely removed. So, and since whoever installed this was nice enough just to chop that wire in half right there and not really leave any room for repair or stuff like that, I'm going to have to leave some of this wire in there to basically put a solder connector between the two pieces of this and repair that and just tuck it back there. So we're going to test my little theory here. So as you can see, all I did was cut the harness out, strip the ends, and twisted them together. So now it should start. If I press the brake pedal, let's try here. Let's try using a foot. See what happens. Hey, look, it starts. All right, let's see if it does the thing. Now we get to play with some solder connectors. Now a kit like this can be had for about $11 whole on Amazon. And so now we got to find about the right size. There we go. Which that one's going to be pretty okay for that one. This one would probably be okay. It just would probably be a little too big. What I like to do for solder connectors is I like to get the amount of stripped wire about the length of between the sealing strip right there and inside there. So you want to get it somewhere close. So this is okay. And when solder connectors, you want to keep these straight. You don't want to twist them. You don't want to do anything. Just keep them straight, because you're going to mesh them together. You're going to basically push the ends together in each end of the solder connector. And actually, that red one was too small because I couldn't get both ends of that inside and mesh together. So we're going to have to use the blue one. And now with my trusty Matco solder or soldering iron. We're gonna, and your blower attachment, we're gonna heat this thing up and solder it. I'm gonna, basically what I like to do, you can do it any way you want, but what I like to do is solder, or not solder, but heat up the ends first and get these ends shrunk down, and then do the solder last in the middle. And then I like to keep my heat usually about in the middle, not all the way too high, because then you're gonna scorch your solder connector, and too low, and you're not gonna melt the solder. You can kind of see that it's glowing there a little bit. It's on. Might need to open that up a little bit to get around this larger solder connector. You can see how it shrinks down. Then the solder melts. Just like that. And as it cools, these will turn opaque. And now you don't want to put these anywhere where there's going to be a bend. So like down here, I didn't put it down where it's going to be area like that. You want to keep these straight. And as you see, it cools, turns less clear. And as you can see now that I have the last wire connected, it's no longer making the clicking sound.